Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Don't you love going out on a clear night and just looking up at the stars and just thinking about how far away they are, the hugeness of the universe? Or when you look into the details of how our bodies work and how tiny parts depend on other tiny parts in order to work, and how it all works together without us even having to think about it. Whether we look at stars or atoms, we can know for certain that there has to be a God. So when we read in Psalm 14:1, the fool says in his heart, there is no God, we think of atheists and others who seem to work pretty hard to explain away God, even to themselves. But as I was studying Matthew 7, at the end of the Sermon on the Mount, I realized there are people who are even more foolish than those who don't believe there is a God. Jesus' parable shows who these people are in Matthew 7:24 through 27. He says, "Therefore, whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it fell, and great was its fall." The people in the crowd that day, as well as many today, fell into two categories: those who hear and obey, and those who hear and ignore. Now, they most likely all believed in God, but they had a choice. They could put into practice what they heard Jesus teach about, or they could live the way they wanted to. If we believe in God and believe the Bible is His word to us, not obeying what is in the Bible is even more foolish than if we didn't believe there was a God at all, don't you think? I looked up some statistics. Depending on the poll you look at, 81 to 83% of Americans believe there is a God. Then 66 to 69% of Americans claim to be Christian and have a personal relationship with Jesus. Now, I say they claim to be Christians because anyone can check a box in a poll, right? So what about those 14 to 15% who say there is a God but don't believe that they need a relationship with Him? Or what about this other statistic I saw? Only 20 to 25% of Americans report that they attend church weekly or almost weekly. Now, I understand there are many people who are unable to attend church, but not 45% of the people. After all, if you truly have a relationship with Jesus, you'll want to fellowship with His people and worship Him together. There are no Lone Ranger or part-time Christians. That just seems like a huge disconnect there. Not that church attendance means that you're saved by any means, but it is a way to show our obedience to the Lord. It's one way to build our house on the foundation of the Lord Jesus Christ. I challenge you today to read the Sermon on the Mount this week and evaluate your life. First, do you believe and have a personal relationship with Jesus? And second, are you listening to Him and obeying what He says?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.